Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers of all preferably 18 and older ages, get your ear holes ready and listen in as we talk about music, movies, technology, video games, live bands, cameras. We welcome you to Insert Podcast Here, starring your hosts Tech Nate and Rusty Sheriff's Badge. So take your seats and crack open a cold one. Coming to you live in the IPH studio, Insert Podcast Here starts right now.
And we are live.
Hi.
We're back.
Yeah.
Guess who's back?
Yeah. Running on all two cylinders. Just cranking away.
Anyway, we are back after a very, very long 2-week hiatus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a lot to talk about.
I feel like this is the first show I've ever done. Like, it's been so long.
Yeah.
I'm a born-again streaming virgin.
You always, make it seem like it's your first.
Well, you know. So anyway, Insert Podcast Here. Sounds weird saying that, too. Season 2, Episode 8. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, we're moving right along, man.
40-year-old virgins, get it right.
Oh, man.
So anyway,
My layout's a little different.
we're back. Like I said, Season 2, Episode 8, Insert Podcast Here. I am your host, your most handsome host,
Rusty Sheriff's Badge.
Tech Nate, and then this guy.
Yeah.
And no, we're not 40 years old anyway, so it's
No.
not your bad. And
Getting there.
He is. He looks
Getting
like
there.
it. He looks like it. Then you got this guy, 23.
Got a little mud stuff in under, or stud muffin, sorry.
Mud stuff. Anyway. So, welcome everybody to another edition of Nothingness with us. We have a lot to talk about, and we're only doing a 10-minute show. So get your questions in, and I'll see you at the fair.
Another edition of Jumbled Up Mess.
Yeah, we got a lot of good topics today. Rusty's going to ramble some shit about AMD.
Eventually.
Maybe-
I'll get to that.
Maybe
eventually.
some Apple stuff. I got some big news in the cell phone world. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not big news. It's been out there for a while, but it's coming to a near.
It's finally happening.
Of course, that's for the wealthy people anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe some camera talk. Kind of sad news in the camera world. But anyway, welcome. If you'd like, you could donate $3,000. Each one of you, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody, right now, that's fine. I mean, I know it's not much money, but it'll help. What do you got today, though, big guy?
Me?
Oh yeah, you.
Who
You?
is excited for E3?
I've never.
I
I've
am.
never heard of it.
Shut up. I am. I know I am. And it's going to be like, I'm finally back to a schedule where I can actually watch the press conference at home. That was like the one thing that bummed me out, being on the off shift, is I couldn't watch the press conference.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we're in the week leading up to it. There's lots of rumors going out, all sorts of potential leaks and stuff like that. And just the excitement is just building up like crazy.
I heard the first E3 leak was a Tetris game, or not a leak, an announcement. I didn't even do any research on E3, but they were doing day-by-day releases.
Yeah, Sony's doing one announcement.
A new
leading
Tetris
up to
game.
it.
That actually looked pretty kind of cool.
Yep.
So,
I know people went crazy. There was a Tetris game that came out a while ago where you could compete against friends and stuff like that. People went crazy for that. So, so yeah, I mean, I'm pumped, man. I can't not wait. To see exactly what all these publishers and stuff like that come out with and everything. And I'm trying to not get too excited about some of these leaks, these potential leaks and stuff. But I mean, there's some stuff in there some of the Sony stuff. Like they could be talking about release date for like the Resident Evil 2 remake and everything. And like, I don't know if you know how big of a fan I am of that game, but I'm a big fan of that game, and I cannot wait. I think it all started with there was a group of people that were actually just making their own remake of it, and then they got shut down. But then Capcom kind of picked up the project and made it an official thing.
Right.
So I love Resident Evil 2. Like as far as like content goes and stuff like that, like out of the classic Resident Evils, it's the best one. And I am pumped about that. Like
Nalio said, it's also for VR. I mean, I think it's more focused on VR, but you can play without as well.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm super pumped, but I'm just trying to kind of stay chill on everything and not get too excited about it. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, Sony is announcing some stuff each day leading up until E3, which tells me that they have a lot to go over, or at least they have a lot to talk about. The 4 things that they really want to go over like really heavily. So what is it, like Ghost of Tsushima, then you have Spider-Man, Death Stranding, which I am pumped about. I want to be less confused about that game. You know what I mean? But it's Hideo Kojima, so I have a feeling I'll be watching whatever they do on stage and scratching my head just as much as I was before, which is part of the excitement. Hideo Kojima, he really knows how to tease people and kind of get them all fired up. So
now, not to take away from everybody watching, I want you to read this quick, what I highlighted.
Yeah, I know about that.
Okay.
No hardware news, but doesn't mean they can't have like a little snippet at the end that looks way too good.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, they'd be out of their minds not to kind of get that.
You want to place a friendly wager on it?
Yeah, I don't care.
$5?
Yeah, fuck it.
All right,
let's do it.
Shake.
Yeah,
it's on camera. Everybody's seen it. All right, cool. I'm getting a phone call from a guy from work like constantly.
Yeah, that can't be good.
I mean, it probably isn't, but what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Anyway. What else we got? Yeah, I mean E3. Who else is excited? Like, what are you most excited about? I know we probably talked about this already before. Give me it. Like, what? Pick that shit up live. Fuck it. What's everybody most excited for? I mean, give us your thoughts. What you're looking for? What is
for me? Like I want to see, like what I want to see from the big 3, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, is I want to see how they handle these press conferences, so I know I have a good idea of how close they are to kind of, retiring this generation. You know what I mean? I think with Sony's approach, how they're going to focus on the 4 games and just kind of talk about these in a huge, like these are going to be the 4 things you're most excited about leading up to the end of the life cycle of the PS4. Right. I think that's the approach they're taking, and I want to see more of a commitment from Microsoft on first-party games and stuff like that. And it sounds like they're going to buy up Playground. They're the developer behind their Forza stuff, like Forza Horizon and everything like that. Yeah. So it sounds like Microsoft is going to pick up Playground. I mean, they make all their games for Xbox and PC anyway, so why not be a Microsoft-owned company?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it sounds like they are starting to actually take steps to really, like, okay, we got to really focus on this. But then on the other hand, you got the head of Xbox. He took over once Phil Spencer got bumped up. It's, I can't remember what his name is. Like something, I think it's Matt Booty. He was talking about how the gamers on Xbox are kind of calling for the more games as a service type thing rather than the single player experiences, which I think is kind of bonkers to me. It's like, because that games as a service thing isn't working for them right now. So how can the people that they talk to, like their gamers and their fans and stuff like that, be saying that they want to keep continuing on like this when they're not? I mean, they're not getting everything else like the other companies are making. Nintendo's dumping out these first-party games that are amazing. Sony's putting out these first-party games that are amazing, and Microsoft's putting out a few first-party games. I'm sorry, that are like okay. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's like they've got to be calling for something different, and I don't know. I think they're so heavily invested in this games as a service type thing that they just can't 180 like they did on a lot of other stuff. So right. I don't know. I just hope they come out, because like I said, I say it 100 times that competition is good for everybody.
You know, I'm actually, the more I'm thinking about it, because I talk a lot with, you know, a lot of my close friends about Last of Us, how everybody thought it was so great.
Mm-hmm.
And I had high expectations of the game, but I didn't get completely thrilled by it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't end up beating it either because I wasn't that interested.
Yeah.
But the game itself kind of gives me the feel like when Uncharted came out. I didn't play Uncharted 1 until Uncharted 2 came out, and I played a little bit of it at your house, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it really got me excited. So then I went back. So now that's where I'm at with Last of Us. I feel like what I'm kind of going to, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's going to pique my interest more so and bring me back. You know what I'm saying?
How much did you actually play of it?
Of Last of Us?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. It's been so long. It's
Couple hours, maybe?
Probably maybe an hour or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, you just play a little more. See if
Yeah.
it doesn't have its hooks in you a few hours in, and like there's things like you don't like the combat system, stuff like that. You're not going to enjoy it anymore after that,
Right.
unless you're just I'm going to grin and bear it. I'm going to suffer through this stuff and just kind of go for the story. The story is fantastic. That's what everybody loves about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's when they were talking about everything, it wasn't the gameplay that everyone was touting. It was the story and the action sequences and like the environments and stuff like that. It's just that's what everyone was enjoying. Gameplay wise, I mean, if you don't like that kind of clunkiness, which they did on purpose, like everyone was kind of complaining about the combat in there. It was tough using guns and stuff like that. It was like it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy's just like an average Joe. He picks up a gun. He's got a few bullets. It's supposed to be hard for him to take an accurate shot, stuff like that. So people didn't like that too much.
All right, so in case you didn't hear, Rusty and I have a friendly wager going on for E3 that he says Sony will give a glimpse or...
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is they're going to show something that just looks too good to be true. They're not going to say anything about it. They're not going to say they're not going to say anything about it being the next generation. They'll just show something that just looks too good for current generation.
And I say that they're not going to. Let's hear your opinions if you think they're going to or not. Let us know in chat. What else is going on with E3?
Oh man, geez. Nintendo's got a lot of stuff they're going to be doing, which obviously they do it in like a different way, like Nintendo Direct or something like that.
Yeah, we should probably elaborate anyway a little bit on this bet, a little bit more. Like, we got to know for a fact if they give a glimmer of something that it's aiming towards next gen, right?
Yeah, but it's just by looking at it. I mean, you can see something. Like we're already 5 years into the PlayStation 4.
Right.
We've seen some of the best looking stuff. God of War. I mean, that game is absolutely gorgeous. If we see something on there that's just like that doesn't look like the hardware is capable of it, and they just kind of show us a glance of something.
Yeah, like I said now, he thinks that they will give a glimpse of something, and I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Personally.
I think they just kind of have to get that fire started. You know what I mean? It's like after they could do the entire show of showing off the stuff that's going to be kind of capping off the life cycle of the PS4, and then show a little snippet at the end of something that just, like I said, just looks just a little too good.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So yeah, we got a friendly wager of $5. So we'll find out next week. You guys will know, obviously. Whoop whoop. What up, Rec 6?
Ahoy, hoy.
What else we got?
Oh man.
Well, we're not even talking about as far as we don't neither one of us think that they're going to talk about next gen.
Yeah, I don't think they'll say anything.
He's saying maybe like a little quick snippet or a B-roll shot maybe of something relating towards the next gen.
Yeah, like he says they're not going to talk about it, they're not going to announce anything, but that could mean they're not going to go up there and be like, hey, this is a peek in our next. They could just show something, and then afterwards there'll be people asking Shuhei Yoshida like, hey, what was that? Was that on PS5? And he'll just kind of laugh and say, you'll have to wait and see and stuff like that. I mean, I think they should really do something and have some fun with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because everyone knows it's coming. There's been so much talk of it. I mean, everyone's already kind of prepared for the whole thing. But as a corporation, they can't really say, this is.
I don't know why this is doing that. I just want to hear back what you said.
Yeah. Anyways, like I want them to be able to. I kind of lost my train of thought now. Thanks, Dick. And
oh shit.
But everyone knows it's coming and everything like that, and it's like, but as a corporation, they can't really say like this is happening in the next year or so right now because their sales are so good still, and they don't want to kind of screw that up. Like they don't want to be the reason that the sales kind of take a downward trend. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Either way, I'm cool because they get a lot of content. So.
Yep. It's going to be exciting. What is it, 9 o'clock next week?
Yeah,
Eastern
9 o'clock Eastern.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. So
So if you're not Eastern Standard Time, I don't care about
and
you.
then Microsoft is doing a huge one. They're doing 2 hours this year.
Wow.
And theirs, I believe, is Sunday. You'll have to look that up. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday.
Yeah, I got the E3 schedule. Where to go?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Microsoft always kicks off now E3. But yeah, they're doing so. They obviously they have something to show. They're doing 2 hours, and that's pretty big. That says a lot. So hopefully they have.
What they do last year?
It was a little over an hour, I think everybody did.
Okay.
Maybe like an hour and a half last year.
Where is the schedule?
So yeah, I mean, good on them. Hopefully they come out just firing on all, on all cylinders, and they really show that they're gonna. I mean, it's kind of late in the generation, but whatever.
Yeah, it might be off. Maybe it's because I'm streaming 2 different routes. I'm not sure. Interesting. How far? Is it just like a second, a millisecond, 12 seconds?
What's going on?
They're saying the sound is off from the video a little bit.
Oh, yeah, blame the sound guy.
Yeah, fucking sound guy.
All right, cool.
Okay, good.
Ray says we're good.
Well, at least the professional in the crowd actually gave us his opinion.
Okay.
So Griffin, my friend. Interesting news. Hopefully you don't mind that I'm throwing this out there since you put it on Twitter.
Oh,
I don't know if you caught this on Twitter. Griffin's been trying to get a voiceover gig.
I know. I saw that. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Better get your ass over there and retweet his shit, and maybe the right person will see it, and he'll get elsewhere if that one doesn't work out.
That'd be absolutely killer, man.
I told him use this as a reference. I mean, use the intro video for insert podcast here.
Microsoft E3 2018 Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
There you go, kids. Ready to burn if you're watching.
I'll probably be able to catch that one too.
You can get naked on your couch at 4 o'clock Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, I want to say something too, real quick. Congratulations to Tony Squezdog on his first platinum trophy.
Squeezed and easy.
Yep.
Yep.
God of War, man. Like a damn good platinum trophy to start off on too.
Yep.
Like holy crap. So yeah, I mean, once again, congratulations, Squezdog.
Attaboy.
I'm so proud of you.
Rex6, thank you for the follow, by the way.
Are you a Fallout guy? Do you like the Fallout games? You ever played any of them?
You know,
No, not a fan. Okay.
I'm not a fan,
All right.
but I'm not like an enthusiast with it.
Yeah. Rise Up called this one. We were talking about the one day in chat, I think, and I was hoping that they were gonna instead like skip over a Fallout entry and go right to Elder Scrolls, and he said they were gonna do like a Fallout kind of like a spinoff like they did with New Vegas, and yeah, they announced Fallout 76 last week, I think it was.
Yeah, I did.
So I'm pretty pumped about that. I mean,
Yeah,
I like Fallout.
it looks good. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I wasn't in love with 4 after playing 3 so much. I did not like New Vegas, but yeah, hopefully this one turned out to be a little bit better and they put a little more attention into it.
Mm-hmm. What else do you expect from E3, Rusty?
What is it? Oh, just lots of like happy clapping for me. Yay! That's gonna be me texting you like crazy.
You know, I can't remember. I don't think I had much more anticipation. I mean, obviously all the new games. I don't know. I mean, it's just like Christmas, kind of like you don't anticipate getting a Mercedes, but you sure as fuck hope you get one, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
well, that's why I'm trying to because every year all these leaks and stuff come out, and a lot of it turned out to be true. I mean, because they shift stuff around even last minute for that stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, how many battle royale games are shown at E3? I want to say a minimum of 3.
Did you see player? What is it? PUBG.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
They're suing Fortnite.
Yeah, no. But they feel like they own the battle royale thing. I guess I have no idea. I don't get it. I mean, it's like, you let other people. I mean, because they're two totally different games. I mean, they do share similarities. Of course they do.
Obviously.
But they're two totally different games, and
But
I think they're just a little butthurt because Fortnite turned into this huge deal.
Yeah.
Like everyone loves Fortnite. I mean, except for the people that suck
Obviously,
at it.
it's free though, And then what are they going to do? Sue what is it? Activision for Call of Duty, the new one?
I have no idea.
I mean, because they're going to do Battle Royale. What the fuck?
Yeah, I have no clue, man.
Rusty
I
says
just it's
3,
been bonkers,
Nalio
man.
says 5 Battle Royale games.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see like something Halo, like some sort of Halo Battle Royale added into something. I mean, I think everybody's going to be doing it.
Yep.
So it's just, hey, whatever. I mean, it's something people are interested in. So if you can make a game that's fun, that people enjoy, fucking make it. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think it was H1Z1 came out, and they already have more people playing, I think, weekly than PUBG has like ever. So they're getting really upset about all that stuff.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. I mean, PUBG could be great. I don't know what they're doing wrong. I haven't played any of it before. I've seen lots of videos. It looks overly complicated to me, but I mean, that could be. I mean, they could use that to set themselves apart from everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But instead, they're just gonna complain and fucking sue people. It's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. So yeah, I think at least 3 battle royale games. Actually, I'll just say just 3, because I have like a specific 3 in my head. Now, I don't want to say at least 3 because if it's over 3, then technically I'm right. I'll just say 3.
Mm-hmm. All right, good talk.
Yeah.
So, what else you got?
You been playing anything recently?
I haven't played PlayStation in almost 2 weeks.
No, that sucks.
I was playing Far Cry, moving along really good. I wanted to finish it, and then, bam, just
yeah. I got back into Destiny 2. Been having some fun with it. Just started a second character. I don't have the time really to do like the kind of the team stuff with everybody to really get the high level gear and everything. So it's been a slow grind for me up to the top, but I want to talk about their fall expansion. Their fall expansion looks incredible from what everyone's seen. I mean, the new game mode, the different way that all your drops kind of like their perk sets and how they are arranged in your loadout and stuff like that. And how you can arrange your loadout is awesome. They got new like supers for all the subclasses and stuff like that. It's like it's like they took this and they're kind of finally listening to fans. And then the thing I liked the most about it was they were talking about how the new raid it will change dynamically like as the weeks go on. So it's like, all these teams get together, these 6-person teams get together and do the raid, and it's usually the same thing over and over again every single week. But now as weeks go by, they're saying it'll change. It'll be different, structurally different from the last time they played, which I think is incredible. So it seems like they're really listening to their fans now, which is good because it's been since, midway through Destiny 1 that they were listening to their fans. It seemed like everything that they were doing was based around the PvP portion of their games, and it was just it's just bullshit. It's like, yeah, I get it. You got to have everything balanced for the competitive stuff, but keep them separate,
Squez, have you tried Far Cry at all? I know Rusty kind of wasn't much of a fan, but I guess you kind of came over and watched it that one day for a couple minutes, but I didn't really get into anything.
I didn't like Far Cry 5. 4 was great.
Yeah.
So
see, I didn't like 4.
Yeah, but I did not like
then
5.
I loved Primal, and I love 5.
Yeah, I didn't like Primal either.
You don't love anything anymore. Like
whatever. We just don't have the same interests. Like I don't even know why we do this together.
All the games you used to like, I like now, and vice versa.
I don't know. I'm starting to hate you more and more every week.
I can't hate you any more than I already do. So
yeah. I don't know, man. It just after that shit show that was Ghost Recon, and then having the same structure in Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to beat that dead horse.
Yeah, now Far Cry 3 is free this month.
Yeah.
What is that other game? Actually, I think it was you, Nalio, that put that on Twitter. A game that doesn't show as free, but once you put it in the cart and process it out,
Shit!
it
Yeah.
was.
What the hell was that? I don't know. I can pull it up in Discord real quick.
That was actually pretty interesting. He'll throw it on here.
I love his
Tomb Raider
announcement,
games.
like, everyone stop what you're doing.
Yeah. Quit life.
That was the best.
Oh, man.
Stop whatever you're doing right now. The Surge appears to be free for PlayStation
yes.
Plus members.
Yes. See, I need to get on there and get that shit done.
The Surge. I don't know what it is, but it's free, so cool.
Something I also want to talk about, Griffin, I'm sure you can pipe in on this one. I got the beta code for Crew 2. I know you did too, and probably some of you others. I didn't get a chance to play it. It was unfortunate. But anyone else play that closed beta? What'd you think of it?
I only play good games.
And then you woke up.
I don't know. What is the Crew? I don't even know. Like,
We'll just call it a racing game.
I think I had. What was the first one on PS4? I might have. I don't
It's
know.
free on PS4. It was. That's how I ended up with it. I didn't play it too much, but the Crew 2, the big change, really probably the only change I think from what I understood from a lot of reviews, was the fact that your vehicle can change at the click of a button, from a car to a plane to a motorcycle to a boat or whatever it may be.
It's different.
The video that I watched the trailer for it, it looked actually pretty badass.
Yeah.
Griffin's review didn't seem like, and this is his shit, man. Like, the Crew is Griffin.
Oh yeah.
If people watch someone stream the Crew, it's probably Griffin, because he's okay. I'm just giving him a big head. He's not that cool, but same map. Okay,
Cool,
slightly better looking. Literally exact. Wow, really?
So what was it like? They just copy
basically-
pasted and then just kind of
Yeah,
gave it better textures and stuff like
better
that.
textures, and then change the way the vehicles are.
That's
Garbage.
weird.
Wow.
There's like, so was that like did they say that there was gonna be more in the game at all, or like
Well,
was it gonna be a different map? Like you can race here and here and here. That
I
kind
don't
of thing.
think. I don't think. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it was just because it was the beta. How far out are they from releasing that game?
The boats.
Boats and hoes.
So you can literally race anything. Well, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I never really. I like when it comes to racing games and stuff like that. I'm like a Gran Turismo, Forza, that kind of thing. So
Yep, the more realistic.
yeah.
Gran Turismo was absolutely phenomenal to me back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like the original, what was it, 4 discs? Remember that?
Yeah, it was like two or something like two. The ones like I think it was Gran Turismo 1 was 1, and then Gran Turismo 2 was like 2 or 3 discs or something like that, and then 3 was like 1 disc.
Yeah.
They would do that. They would split it up. I don't know. I used to do those the 24-hour races.
Yeah.
Like legit do them.
Yep.
Like when I was a kid, and I don't understand how
That was one of the
I
things.
was ever allowed to do that. Like,
That was actually one of the things, Griffin, was the flying mechanics were actually intended to be just plain out fun. That's all they really wanted to go for with that. They said even if it feels like it's lacking realism, that it's going to be more fun than anything. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, they just,
a game can be absolute shit looking and be incredibly fun, and that's all that matters, honestly.
oh, yeah.
As long as it's fun.
What else? What else was out there?
Man, good lord.
I had something I want to talk about. What the hell was it? Do you remember?
How the fuck would I remember
I don't
what
know.
you're thinking about? I don't want to be inside that head. And Griffin says, like he said, I'll absolutely get the game when it's in the PS free game of the month, but it's not enough of a change and enough for the right directions to warrant him buying it, which is a good stance to take on that.
You know you will.
He probably will, day one.
Fuck yeah.
I
you
can't
will.
help it. I can't help it.
So,
Yeah,
June,
I don't
the
know.
PS Plus games, the free ones for June.
Yeah, no idea.
Have we talked about that?
No, I don't think so.
All right. So you got
We've been off for 2 weeks. How the fuck could we talk about this?
touche. So, fuck you.
Just saying.
So XCOM 2, Trials Fusion, which I am going to get that. Anybody check out XCOM 2? Let me know.
Anybody know what the ExCon games are about? Like, I have no idea. I've never even looked
Raise
into
your
them.
hand when you want to talk.
I know people are excited. Like, they get pumped about these XCOM games. I have no fucking idea what they are.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. Zombie Driver HD on PS3, Ghost Recon Future Soldier on PS3. I can get down with that.
Really?
Do they have online servers for that? Still?
I don't know.
I want to play that. Atomic Ninjas for the Vita and Squares for the Vita.
I'll probably end up getting those just because I want to play my Vita.
Yeah, you would. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what
Trials
it is about
Fusion.
XCOM that people like.
Trials Fusion. I'm going to have to get that. And Ghost Recon. Do you still have an active PS3?
No, I don't have one at home, no.
Oh, really?
I let somebody borrow it, and they just never gave it back, and I just haven't really asked for it. I don't play PS. I could literally get it back, and it will sit there and collect dust. I'll never touch
You know, I still have one of your games.
it. Which one?
Never mind.
Like, there's probably like 14 people out there that have
It's a
some of my
PS3
games.
game.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I repetitively reminded you that I still had it, and you never played it.
What is it, anyways?
Black Ops 2.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. Actually,
Oh,
no,
shit, that's right, yeah.
You had two copies. That's what it was, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, because we wanted to play together, so I ended up getting. I think I got it digitally or something like that.
Something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I used to play with my buddy Mike. We'd play zombies all day long.
Yeah. I had every intention of playing it, but I sucked at it. I was so bad at zombies.
It's so much. Oh man, it's so much better than any zombies yet. Anyway, so yeah, head over, get them games. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, put them in your library. You don't even have to download them. Just have them. You know, you get like this little period where you're like, "Fuck, I need something to play." Go into your library,
So
download it.
That's pretty awesome.
Play.
I mean, you ask people in the audience what XCOM is, and you don't even fucking read their comments.
I did. I was actually going through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Judge me.
So,
Butthole.
nah.
So yeah, well, okay. Probably time to move on. I got a lot of stuff to talk about with
Anyone
AMD.
know? Hold on, I want to talk to Nalio here. Copyright-free music sites for background music. So, I'm actually curious about this too because, excuse me, I'm looking for a different range of music. Like, a lot of you guys have probably seen or watched parts of some of my videos that I did with drones and time lapses and whatnot. I want some different kinds of cinematic music, all copyright free if possible, actually is necessary. So I can't really help you out by answering that, but I do know some specific artists on SoundCloud that offer their music. It's all instrumental. If you want, send me a message on Twitter. Okay, cool. I will. Yeah, I've still got the link actually down below, I think, for the intro video, so I'll check them out. Oh, yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Oh, that was nice.
But, yeah, now you'll send me a message on Twitter or something if you're interested. I got maybe 3-4 people on SoundCloud. They're actually really large artists who tour. They have instrumental stuff. If you send them a message on SoundCloud, they'll probably grant you access to it, so especially with the following you have. I'm gonna check that out though because I'm curious. I've got a lot of drone video that I wanna make some shit. What are you doing? What are you doing over there?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Can I get that?
I kind of want some like suspenseful. I don't know Griffin if he's got this in his library, and I'm sure I can check it out. But if you happen to know, like some suspenseful, like I'm trying to think, it's like a heavy theatric. Anyway, on to the next topic. We got some PC talk.
Yeah, we got some. Well, first I
Little
want to talk about
No.
Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference real quick. I usually get pretty excited about that, but it seems like over the years, just like with their phones and stuff, I get like I'm less and less excited because they don't really talk about too much. I mean, they went over iOS 12 and everything like that. It's going to be good for people with older generations of the iPhone. It's going to reduce the amount of usage on the CPU and stuff like that. So, like people with like the iPhone 6 and 5 and stuff like that are going to be seeing a little bit of a performance boost. I think it was like up to 40%, but I mean, that's a theoretical, like, okay, if nothing is being used, to get 40% more usage out of it, you know what I mean? So good for them, so that they don't have to worry about the whole, because I mean, Apple came out and they admitted that they were bottlenecking the CPUs because as the battery aged, they were bottlenecking CPUs. That's why the phones would get slower.
Right.
They did it as a safety thing, but they didn't disclose that to their customers. It's like, that's something you need to tell people. Like, you know, we're doing this for your safety, blah, blah, blah. The battery's getting weak. We got to reduce how much each component draws on it and stuff like that. So the other way to do that is exactly what they're doing with iOS 12. Make a smaller footprint, like have it used less. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's what they should have done before, but whatever.
Is there any talk, not to interrupt, is there any talk about Apple in their own personal CPU lineup?
They're making everything for the Macs in-house now. Like they're going to do, just like they do with the phones, they're going to make their own processors for the Macs and all that stuff, which is great because it'll give their engineers and stuff like that that build the Macs an idea of how to structure these things, how to build them around the hardware that's inside of them. So the more they can do in-house, the better it will be, because they're great with software. They're great with hardware. So put them together, let them all work together. You have the hardware team here and the software team here. They can ask each other questions real quick. It's like, well, can you add this feature? Yeah, sure. It'll make it easier on us software-wise to do this, that kind of thing. So their Macs will get better, but they need to get better fast. So,
well, you know what else they need to do? Make screens.
Yeah.
Although, even if that did give them a big drive in price downward, they're not going to let that affect the consumer pricing, because now they know that they're going to be able to make that.
There are certain aspects of it that's just easier for them to buy it. So buying the screen, the dime a dozen, I mean, it's just easier for them to do it. But then the nice part about them is, like they did with the Samsung screen for the iPhone 10, they modified it to work better for them. So they took a great Samsung screen and made it better.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I'm kind of in the middle of something here, but
there wasn't really much to really talk about it from the conference. I mean, it went for like 2 hours almost. They did. They talked about some watch OS stuff, which, you know, for me, like, whatever. Now stuff like my complications on here, I'll be able to actually have third-party apps that work natively on here now, which is kind of cool. And then like I can use as a walkie-talkie, which I don't think I'll ever use, because I don't know. I know of like 2 people that have an Apple Watch.
Nextel went out a long time ago. Actually, you know what? I've been hardcore. You know, Ready to Burn's got one, right?
What?
An Apple Watch?
Oh, does he?
Yeah, his wife bought him one for his birthday.
Oh, excellent.
I've been looking hardcore at getting one.
Yeah.
The only thing that might stop me is if I end up getting this boat. So.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But I really seriously think I want one before I get that.
Oh, yeah.
I've read a lot of reviews on how awesome they are underwater, even up to 50 to 60 feet, even though they're not guaranteed at that. But like, I really want one. I'm dead set on trying to get one, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. tvOS was the one that surprised me the most. Like their 4K TV, or their 4K Apple TV is getting Dolby Atmos support.
Oh, nice.
On top of it already came out and it had Dolby Vision support. Now it's going to get Dolby Atmos support.
Nice.
And all their stuff is staying the same price. Like, you know, their movies. The thing I like about Apple TV, like when they were like, hey, we're going to put out a Apple TV 4K version, they're like, well, we're only going to charge you $20 for a movie, and all the movie studios are like, no, everyone else is charging $30. Apple's like, yeah, well, we're going to charge $20. You can't do that. I mean, like, everyone's charging $30, but we're going to charge $20. So everyone's just kind of taking that trend now and doing it. So if you have a huge library of movies on the Apple TV, or like just through Apple in general, and then they have a 4K update, you get that at no extra charge. It's just automatically upgraded for it if you have a 4K TV, and now the same thing is going to happen with Dolby Atmos. Nice. You get that upgrade for free with any movie that supports it. And
Griffin.
It's crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard anything running on Dolby Atmos, but it's insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Yes. Griffin, if you notice it in the next 30 seconds, I'll give you a free hug. Anyway, excuse me. You all wrapped up on Apple?
Yep, I'm pretty much. I would talk about the Mac stuff, but it was just Mac OS Mojave. That's it. Not really. Oh, 32-person FaceTime calls on the iPhone.
Say that again?
32-person FaceTime calls. Yeah, you can have 32 people in one FaceTime
No shit.
on the iPhone after iOS 12 comes out.
On 4G?
I don't know, man. I have no clue.
How is that possible?
No idea, but they showed like you can scroll through each person to kind of like I don't know. Enterprise maybe, but I don't understand. Like I don't think I know 31 other people that I want to talk to face on a regular basis.
I don't even like to talk face to face to anybody.
Whatever. So that was like one of the big things that apparently people are calling out for, and they're answering the call. So whatever.
You know, whatever floats your boat. That's pretty cool though. Cell phones.
Yeah, speaking of cell phones.
There's been some talk for about 11 months now
What is that?
that Red, the camera company, which I seem to talk about this company almost every episode for the last 4 or 5.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because like going back to what you were talking about before, I had no clue this company even existed.
So Red is a modular camera company, in case nobody knows this. So basically you're buying a body and a sensor at a very high price. And I want to say it's in the 40,000 range. It's stupid. 4, 6, 8K cameras, like they're incredible. So they're modular. You add all this different stuff to it.
And there's obviously people buying these things because there's
all the professionals and some of the most of the top YouTubers. I'm sure almost everybody has heard of Linus Tech Tips.
Mm-hmm.
He was totally fine with what he had, but his camera guy that works for him, he's got a big crew of 20 some people that work for him. His camera guy insisted that they spend, I want to say around 90 to 110,000 on the body for a Red camera and the different lenses and accessories, and like you've got to buy everything, and it's at the most top dollar you can get. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It blows my mind. So anyway, Red, I talked about once doing a partnership on VR, I believe it was 3D VR. Mm-hmm. I believe it was
okay,
Facebook?
I remember that.
I don't remember now.
It was like because they would be like the only person that was going to be competing with Apple's AR/VR
right.
headset.
So Red has announced, and this was 11 months ago, but it didn't make top news, that they're going to be producing a cell phone, which is supposed to be coming out very, very soon. They had a press conference out in California a couple days ago about it, where they were actually in person with these phones for reviewers and press and whatnot. So basically, even though it doesn't seem this way, it's more of a consumer-based modular phone.
Okay.
So they're going to allow the access of adding who knows what right now.
Okay.
In fact, there's really not many specs on the phone either. It's obviously it's going to be Android-based. Mm-hmm. It's about twice the weight of an Apple or the iPhone X10, whatever you want to call it. It has the modular chipset in the back, so you can add stuff, blah, blah, blah.
It's a big old beast of a phone.
It's a beast. And there's going to be 2 models. There is the titanium, and I think the other one was aluminum. I'm trying to find
it. No, scroll back up. Let me see that. Oh, shit. Yeah, that thing is ginormous.
I wish I could show you guys. I didn't have this set up in time. So basically, the focus was the modularity of the system, but and you might as well call the phone a brain because they're really aiming towards professional consumerism here.
Yeah.
But, well, I suppose I should probably say that Verizon and AT&T, I think, are going to be the only ones that are going to.
The only ones.
They're already in contract with them.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to buy these things. I want to find the right one I had here. Where was the site I had? Okay, right here.
That one looked great.
Right
Go back
here.
up to that real quick.
This article is from a few days ago, and it says you can pre-order, but pre-orders are closed. The aluminum model is $12.95. Titanium is $15.95.
Holy shit!
And all the accessories are, of course, being modular, are going to cost out the ass probably
X amount of
also.
dollars for this, and this.
But before I get into the screen on this thing, the point is you're going to be able to carry a very high-end camera in your phone.
Yeah.
For the people that are interested.
If you're willing to spend the extra money on it, right?
So now if you're not aiming at the camera end of things, they're going to have a 4V holographic display. This is the first in any mobile device.
Okay, so this isn't like the 3D projection type stuff that Nintendo does with the 3DS.
No,
it's completely okay.
yeah, it's supposed to be different.
Okay,
One thing I want to point out quick, I actually forgot about this until I just seen that. The processor is the last. It's not the newest processor. By the time this phone comes out, Samsung, they're going to have the new Snapdragon or whatever they call it. This has the 835 in it, so kind of seems weird, but maybe they have a way of cranking up everything else. I don't know. There's not a whole lot being said about this, but to have a holographic screen on a phone, in addition to all the other stuff that you can do with this thing, it's quite incredible. Yeah. I'm going to try to get a picture up here.
That's gorgeous looking. I like that one.
Dude, they're badass. Yeah, the left one.
Yeah.
Look at this thing, though.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
So I'm going to try to get you guys a picture.
That's cool. I like the idea behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You invest in the shell and then add whatever you want down the road to, make it whatever you want. Like if you carry your phone in your pocket and you want to take lots of pictures, then you can build it around being a picture-taking camera or phone or whatever.
So my question to everybody, including you, if it came to your cell phone provider, would you do it?
No.
Why?
I just don't see it as something I would utilize properly.
I want to say yes, but no for one reason. OS.
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't. I don't think.
If something was to, really come out and show me, like I said, I don't mind the Android system at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's implemented in certain phones and stuff like that. I really don't. I'm just so heavily invested in Apple. But I don't think for something like this, this is a totally different thing. Like you have to have completely different intentions for something like this. Like you're building this thing around a purpose. You know what I mean? So
right.
I don't know. That would be the thing, because I just don't think I would utilize it properly. Be spending all that money to have a basic shell of a phone that I wouldn't know anything, about, and I wouldn't know what to do with.
Right.
So,
all right, I'm gonna put a few pictures up here in a second.
I would just have a really expensive Android device.
It's hard though, because if it performs as smoothly as my iPhone does, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. Because of what I'm interested in with the video and the photography and whatnot, but I don't know. I don't think I can jump on board with anything like Android. All right, give me a second here to get this sized up. So this, I'm just going to cover everything up. This is the red hydrogen one. It's a beast.
What is that in the back there?
That is where the modularity would come in play, where they're going to be able to connect something. I'm not sure how it would connect to the phone physically, but that's where it's going to make its contacts that it needs.
Oh, okay.
Because basically the phone is the brain. It's a sensor for a camera. In fact, one thing I haven't seen yet is the screen.
Oh, they weren't allowed to show the screen.
No, they're not allowed to show the screen, which is annoying me because I want to.
Yeah, nobody was allowed to show it because they couldn't do it justice taking a 2D picture of what's going on the screen.
Yes, I would. All day long. A little bit of mustard. How about you? Would you eat me?
Good question for you. If you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
What else do I got for pictures here?
I don't know, man. I just like it's gorgeous. It's obviously it's targeting a certain group of people, but I don't think I'm in that demographic.
Right, and it's going to end up. It's probably going to flop to most extents, except for the professionals that are out there.
But they're already selling cameras and base systems at a super, super high price. They know who they're targeting. They're not going overboard with their production. You know what I mean?
Right. So
they seem to know what they're doing as far as how to survive in the business world with such high-end devices.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, it could be the I think the creator even said something like he could be like nobody could buy it. He'd be the only one with the greatest phone out there. You know what I mean? Something along those lines.
So here's a comparison to the, the hell was that? The Note? I can't remember where I got that from. I don't remember where.
What is that one?
It's. Let me see if I can find it here. Or wait, it was the Google, the Pixel, I think it was, or something. I'm not familiar with the Google.
Oh, that thing's massive then.
But that's the comparison. Look at the thickness on that thing.
That thing is fucking massive. Holy shit.
It's a beast. Now, a lot of people that said in press conferences when they held it, they said it felt incredible.
Yeah.
Like it just felt really sturdy.
It's so big though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I am not an average sized human being, so that would not be suitable for me.
I think I'd like to have the phone, even if it wasn't connected to service, just to play with the thing and try it out. Like the camera end of things is what
Yeah.
I'd really
I
be
definitely
interested
I want to try it. I would love to get hands on with it, but
in. Yeah.
I mean,
That screen though, that's pretty exciting. I'm interested to see.
yeah, I'm
how
curious
that
to
comes
see
out.
exactly how they implement that.
That's going to be what's going to really hit the consumer market. I
Yeah.
think is that screen. Everyone's going to want to get on board with that.
Yeah, which is good. So, innovation is key.
Indeed.
So, we'll definitely keep an eye on that one.
Something else came across the news the other day. Got to get rid of that Techno Axe. So Intel teased a huge chipset, 28 core, 5 gigs.
Yeah, 5 gigahertz, 28 core CPU.
Yep.
That just blew the fucking doors off the benchmark.
Yes.
Blew the doors off of everything else out there. And this is why I'm telling you, AMD made them do this. AMD made this happen. I'm telling you right now. Like Intel was like, we gotta fucking do something, man. Let's let's come out with this thing and like fucking push as hard as you can.
So you,
5
you think-
gigahertz at 28 cores. So that means if they're using hyper-threading, dude, that's freaking bonkers.
That's nuts.
56 threads? Come on. That's crazy.
Last year's showstopper, the 18 core. So that's a big step.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing too, why I'm kind of telling you, like, what was it? 18 core is $2,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 1995.
Dude.
On release. Yep.
This thing is going to be stupid.
I think $2,400.
No, man. The difference between like their 12 core or like their 10 core, what was it? Their 10 core was 1,000 and their 18 was 2,000.
Yeah, but when they came out, all these ones came out, they didn't have AMD breathing down their neck.
No, they did. No, AMD had all this stuff, and then Intel answered with this stuff.
Not as much though. Now AMD's hot, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, Intel is just like, listen, everyone always pays a premium for our stuff.
How come every time you speak like Intel, they're stoners?
I'm just saying, because I mean, look at their pricing scheme; they're out of their fucking mind.
Hey man,
Like, listen, AMD came
all
out
of a
with
sudden
this.
Intel is Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's just dude. There's no way this thing is under $2,500, and I'm being very generous. There's no friggin' way. At 5 gigahertz, clocked at 5 gigahertz, running normal. I mean, dude, that's bonkers. And to answer that, AMD announced their 32 core Threadripper 2. 32 cores, 64 threads. But it's a much lower clock speed, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
But I mean,
It wasn't much lower. It was 4.
no, it was. I think it was still mid 3s, but I think that's across every core.
Oh yeah.
Whereas
Okay.
what Intel will do, like their highest clock speed across so many physical cores and stuff like that, but they're still, hands down. I mean, they chewed through the Cinebench benchmark in like 3 or 4 seconds or some shit like that. It's just absolutely ridiculous, man. So yeah, Computex 2018 going on. A lot of people showing off. Asus came out with a lot of stuff in their Republic of Gamers lineup for all sorts of stuff. And AMD obviously showcasing a lot of stuff. Their first 7 nanometer Vega GPU, not for gaming and stuff like that, but it's basically for their. It's kind of like how NVIDIA does all their stuff for like AI and shit like that. They do like they're super fast and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, AMD finally showed off a 7 nanometer Vega GPU, and it's for like deep learning and all that stuff.
Right.
So hoping in the next few days, 'cause I think it runs until the 9th. Computex does. They'll be showing off a lot more of their APUs and everything, and it'll give me a better look at what to expect with the PlayStation 5. Because right now, like the only really decent APU that was out that incorporated a Vega GPU, which is a step under Navi, which is supposed to be what's in the PlayStation 5, was with an Intel processor. But now they're doing like a really high-end Ryzen APU with a Vega GPU with more compute units, stuff like that. And I can't wait to see what that does in like kind of like a real-world frame, so I can have like some sort of idea of how that is going to translate into the PlayStation 5 eventually.
Really quick, I was thinking both still talking about Intel and talking about PlayStation. Intel during that also announced the new version of the Optane solid state M.2. How fucking badass would that be if you could buy, when the PS5 comes out, you got your 2 terabyte solid state,
which is not going to be enough.
No. Well, just sake of conversation. What if you were able to get one with M.2, or have that?
Yeah.
On the motherboard of that, of the new.
It'll. I mean, that would be great because it would make the unit smaller. The cost would be a problem.
Cost is a problem.
But you could always they could always do like smaller clusters and stuff like that, or like not have the ridiculous like read write speeds. You know what I mean? They could kind of decrease that a little bit. So I mean, that would help out with cost and everything like that. But that would be neat. I mean, like I said, it would cut down on energy consumption. It would cut down on cost, or size of the machine, but it would increase cost. That would be a problem.
It's pretty crazy though. I mean, if you really think about it, that Sony couldn't get M.2 storage at a super low price. I mean, if you really think
buying
about
in bulk, yeah, maybe, but I mean, not low like what we're thinking.
Right.
Well, I don't know. It'd be in a perfect world. Then in a perfect world, the PlayStation 5 would have a Ryzen processor clocked at we'll say 3.1, 3.2 gigahertz with at least with at least 6 active physical cores. Which I don't know if they can actually do that with the Ryzen technology. I'd have to look into it. And then a Navi, actually a high clocked Vega GPU with HBM2 memory and a shitload of it. We'll say 12 gigs or 12, 14, 16 gigs of HBM2 memory with that kind of data storage. I mean, that would make it great because developers using that kind of stuff, they could do absolutely insane shit with it.
Right.
With the thing about game consoles that's super nice is that when a game developer approaches this platform, they look at what they're building for, and they know that everything else out there, there's 30 million of these out in the wild. They're all exactly the same. They all have this much CPU speed, and they all have, this much memory that communicates at this speed. You know what I mean? Whereas when you're developing for a PC, it's I have to target graphics cards from this range down to this range, with CPUs from this range down to this range, with data transfer rates from this range down to this range. It's developers that know the hardware better can get down and really make something super fucking special and super awesome, knowing that they have this, this is their ceiling. We got to get as close to this ceiling as possible.
Right.
So, I mean, in a perfect world, like I said, it would be a Vega, the second version of Vega with HBM2 memory, and that would really help out a lot. But the processor has to be good and clocked over fucking, what is it? The processor from the PS4 is 1.7 gigahertz or something like that. It's a mobile processor. That's the only thing that's holding this generation back right now is the processors. Even in the Xbox One X.
I really feel like where storage technology is at now, though, that the next gen consoles for both Microsoft and Sony needs to be whatever the newest top of the line storage is, because I feel like that's what's holding me back in everything I do. Because I mean, I know it's upgradable, but like,
yeah, but I mean,
it's
you
there.
still only get minimal benefits.
Yeah, I don't know. You go from what we have now to M.2, fuck, your load times would be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just simple stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's something that needs to be implemented or heavily thought about.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, they could surprise us, but they remember, keep in mind that they have to hit a certain price point,
Right.
to be, to really maintain this momentum. So,
well, I mean, it could be an option, just where you could buy your own and put it in there.
yeah, well, that's the thing, is that you have to sell that point, though. You have to say, this is our system, this is the base version of it, but you can buy this, this, and this to upgrade it. I mean, it supports this kind of storage format. And
Right.
people are like, okay, well, I'm going to buy a fuckload of games, so I'm going to buy, the best version of the storage at this price. They don't care. Like, they'll play what comes out at launch. After they buy the system for however much, they'll wait a few months, save up some money, and then they'll go buy a $400 storage option. I mean, you got these people on for Xbox and stuff like that. They're buying 10 terabyte, 10, 12, 14, whatever terabyte hard drives to store all their stuff on. People will do that if you tell them that they have that option.
Okay, so everyone out there in the chat, what would you prefer? Let's say you had to have one or the other. Would you prefer high amounts of storage, very slow speeds for whatever cost, or would you like really fast speeds with average size? Like,
Obviously upgradable.
yeah, I mean, obviously everything's going to be upgradable. Personally, I think I would rather have speed over storage.
This upcoming generation is going to be when it matters the most.
Yeah.
So this is a super important question, because as each generation continues on, we get games that use up a lot more data. They take up a lot more storage. They have a lot more stuff going on in the back end that has to get moved back and forth. So when these companies start putting in stuff like, if you look at the technology ray tracing, that hits really hard on hardware. You got to have high data transfer rates from like your memory to your CPU and your memory to your GPU and stuff like that. You got to have all this stuff that's going super fast. You cannot have your storage, where everything is kind of located, hinder the performance of everything else. So what I would say is I would prefer a high data transfer rate, reasonably high, but like you're talking M2 has these crazy data transfer rates.
Yeah,
We don't need that. We won't need that for a long time. They can bring it down a little bit, but it's still going to have a super high cost. So what I'm saying is, like, come out with a base storage version at a certain price point. 2 terabytes of whatever. You can have, like, if at the time SSDs are super cheap, put a cheap SSD in there. You can put in, your own mechanical drive if you want, but have like a super cheap SSD in there with minimal data transfer, because you can buy them with super slow rates.
Yeah.
But then say, but you can do this. You can put a fast SSD in there, or you can put an M2 in there if you want. That's super fucking fast. Give them that option, and gamers will buy that, use what they can, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road, buy more storage or buy the same amount that's faster to improve their games.
Right.
People will do that.
I think Shalou actually said it best, like, compromise, obviously, is probably most acceptable, if anything. I would probably hope that the next-gen console is SSD-based initially, like where you can upgrade whatever you want from there. Even if they do start with a lower-end SSD, it's going to be better than previous gen. So,
yeah. Getting that information off of the hard drive to the CPU and to the GPU as fast as possible is going to be key for everything.
Yep.
But you got to make sure that, that is being processed fast enough by the CPU and all that shit. So that's what I'm saying. Ryzen CPU, man, it can be stupid.
Yep.
It can be awesome. So we'll see once they announce it, man. I'll probably be like, they'll probably do something that I'm just like, oh fuck, I didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? Same thing with the PS4. I had no idea. I had no clue. Like, I had a pretty good idea what they were gonna do, but I had no fucking idea that it was going to be built like that. And it was great for the time. It was like 5 years ago. It was great for that time.
Now I really want a hot dog. Thank you for that.
But yeah, AMD, they're sitting pretty again. I mean, they're going to be probably providing the hardware for Sony and Microsoft again, which means they're going to be able to keep innovating and keep pushing Intel, and all you Intel snobs can keep buying your bullshit Intel products. And but yeah,
What else you got?
man, I think I'm pretty much tapped out on words.
Me too. All right, guys.
I think that's been enough chit chat.
Next week, make sure everybody watches E3. Whatever you want to watch it. Come into the show next Wednesday with a lot to talk about because we're going to... Oh, yeah. Quick question. Squez asked earlier, did you go see Deadpool 2?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of it?
It was fucking hysterical.
Better than the first?
But as far as being a movie, I guess I should sit proper. As far as being a movie, it wasn't as good as Deadpool 1, but it was funnier.
Okay.
So structurally as a movie, it wasn't as good as the first Deadpool, but it was much funnier. I laughed way harder at this one than I did the first one. So.
Right on. Cool. Well, I laughed a lot at the first one, so that's pretty good.
You're going to love the second one then. Like you can make do with how it's structured.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Mm.
All right, so everybody, make sure you check out E3. Starts Sunday, 4 o'clock?
Microsoft is 4 o'clock on Sunday, and then Sony is Monday night at 9 Eastern.
So make sure you watch everything that you want to watch. Come into the show next Wednesday.
Yep.
I think we might have a guest next week or two, hopefully. We'll have a lot to talk about with E3.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because it's going to be like we're going to be right in the tail end of it. So it's going to be like got all this shit to cover, games.
Right on.
And I really I'm going to have a complete analysis of what Microsoft did compared to Sony, compared to Nintendo and EA and stuff like that.
Squez Dog, yes, if you would like to come over and watch it, you're welcome to. I don't know why you would.
Ooh, Bethesda. I want to see Doom 2 at Bethesda's press conference.
Doom 2.
Yes. If Doom 2 was to show up at Bethesda's press conference, I'm done for the day.
Griffin, if you want to come over too, you're more than welcome. We can do some very, very good audio recording, voiceovers if you want.
Pants optional.
Always. Good old time. Can't believe you didn't say that all show. Fuck you, Ben, Griffin. All right, guys. I'm Tech Nate.
Rusty Sheriff's Badge.
This has been Season 2, Episode 8 of Insert.
This has been a long wait to Season 2, Episode 8. So.
Okay. You don't have a reason to. Oh, for cuddle time. Yeah. My bad. Okay. Cuddle time. Anyways, Insert Podcast here. We out.